What's good, everyone? Welcome to another LiveWire Sports Media. All right, so I promised y'all I was going to bring another video today, and I came across a lot of information in that time, so I wanted it to be a little bit more diligent and a little bit more. The first video y'all saw, and I talked about Christie size and everything. So this is kind of like a part two, but Lynn Dunn is part of this video as well and everything. So the things that I have heard today, I have heard from FS1 on Fox, Skip Bayless, Paul Pierce, and Keyshawn Johnson. Rebecca Lobo chimed in. There was a podcast that came out on X that I forgot the guy's name, the Dan Dackett show. He interviewed Lynn Dunn, which Lynn Dunn was in Seattle. Now, and I'm going to start with Lynn Dunn first before I go to anything, because this is very, very important. This is very, very telling to what a lot of us has been talking about. Even the Pope Frank show, Adrian Ross, Black and White Sports, Ben Daniels podcast, everybody and myself, we all been talking about this. We feel Caitlin Clark is being sabotaged. She's being iced out by her own teammates. They sing Kumbaya, whatever the case might be, off screen or whatever. But during games, it seems like some of these players have their own agenda and it needs to be cleared out. Now, I know a lot of people say that, well, Caitlin had like a lot of black people on the team. Not really. It's kind of about even. Timmy Van Benling, Dantas, Boston, Mitchell, Wheeler, and Mitchell. That's 6. But I really don't count and Vivian's. I don't really count. That's what 6. That's about 8. I don't count Timmy and Dantas because they Brazilian and they're from another country. But they play different. They're international players, so their game is different than American players. But Boston, she was coached by Don Staley, and Don Staley is supposed to be one of the most decorated college basketball coaches in the game that put out a bunch of talent. But at the same time, you would think Boston would be a little bit better than she is. Smith, she's also another one that could probably play better. Mitchell, if y'all go back to a couple of videos a while back, interviews a while back from the Fever, Mitchell blatantly told y'all, she said she's not changing her game for nobody. She plays like she's on an and one mixtape. She plays like she's on the blacktop. She doesn't play fundamental basketball. She plays like how she played at AAU. You know what I'm saying? And you can't play like that. You're a professional basketball player. So if you're going to play like that, go overseas and play. That's what I say. So she clearly said that she's not changing her game. For me personally, if I was a coach and I heard that, I would pull her aside and say, look, you have to be a team player. You can't play your own game and call your own number. You have to play in the system. And if she can't do that, guess what? Then, dang, I think my finger fractured right there. Pain right there. Anyway, so my thing is this here is that I feel like she definitely needs to do things that that's help benefit the team. But anyway, so I did some digging on Lynn Dunn, and I kind of remember her a little bit, and not vaguely. And Lynn Dunn, we all know she was the general manager and the coach for the Seattle Expansion team when they first came out. But I'm gonna give you a history of her because I want y'all to listen to her on this podcast. It just goes to show you that she just drafted Caitlin just because she could draft a good player. She didn't have no way of building this team. And it's telling by her. And I'm going to chime in afterwards.
Incumbent in the WNBA is it on a coach to get a player shots? Well, I think I wouldn't say the coach has got to get her shots. I think the system has to create good shooting opportunities for your best shooters. And so if Caitlin Clark is good at coming off of a pin down, or if she's good at coming off staggers, we've got to create ways for her to get good shots. But let's remember now, the best defender on everybody's team is taking Caitlin Clark. And so whatever you're running, it better be run at a real high efficiency, or she's not going to get open, or she's going to be trapped. Let's stymie that best player. So just getting her an easy shot's tough.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people. A lot of times it's incumbent. I'm running something for you, but you didn't come off the screen low enough, or I'm running something for you. You didn't set up your defender, change direction to get yourself open. There's a lot of things that go into getting somebody a shot, because you're really not just, there were times at Iowa she brought the ball down, jacked it up. But you're not really doing that in this era. You're not doing that in the WNBA.
Well, it's hard to bring the ball down and jack it up against somebody that's,
right,
longer, taller, stronger than you are. Those days are over, and I think, though, she's doing a really good job of adapting to the strengths of the players that are guarding her, the traps that she's getting. And I love the fact that when she gets trapped, she finds the open man and creates shots for her teammates. They got to knock them down.
You said from the beginning that strength is going to be an issue. How big an issue has it been for her?
I think initially she was maybe taken aback, in my opinion, how strong some of these players are that were guarding her. But I think now she's adapted to that. She gets it now. I think she expects it, she anticipates it, and she's learning how to handle it.
Yeah, because, I'm Pacers drafted a guy, and the first thing I thought of was actually Caitlin Clark. I mean, he's not the dominant player, but he's not a great defender. She's a pretty good defender, and strength helps all of that. And, and people say, well, what do you mean? I go, well, if you get 2 or 3 straight years in a weight room, understanding that the strength I had in college, while great, doesn't translate. It builds confidence. It builds footwork. It builds.
All right, you listen to that. You listen to that first part, right? And she said that, okay, things don't translate in the WNBA. It does. To a certain point. If you're a generational player, your game's supposed to translate to the next level. It doesn't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? LeBron translate, Jordan, Kobe, Iverson, Akeem, Magic, Bird, Caitlin. They all games translate. Maya Moore, they all translate. Candace Parker, they all translated to the next level. But when you don't have a coach that knows X's and O's, it's going to be hard. Now, Lynn Dunn sit there and say, well, hey, they got to create opportunities for her to get open shots. Okay, but then you, the general manager, your job is to call down into your coach and say, hey, we need to get her open more. We need to get this team on the same page. Me personally, I will be the general manager. I will be in that locker room going off on all of them players and say, hey, we need to get there. We need to do this. We need to be on the same page. Yeah, Caitlin needs to shoot more, but how can we get her more shots? Okay, Wheeler, you don't need to be shooting more. You need to be helping out on screens. You need to be kicking out to the next man and help Caitlin. Yeah, we all know Caitlin can pass, but just like Miss Adrian Ross said, these fans, they came to see Caitlin pass the damn ball. They came to see Caitlin shoot the ball. Because when she's shooting from 30 feet and it hits, that crowd goes crazy. When she making spectacular plays, the crowd go crazy. See, the players on her team, and I ain't saying all of them, it's just a few. They don't want Caitlin to outshine them. But if Caitlin is outshining, y'all all benefit. Y'all all winning together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear excuses about, well, they got to do this and they got to do that. You, the general manager, you're supposed to be saying, well, hey, why are we not getting creating Caitlin more shots? Why are we not creating more pin downs? Why are we not creating more staggers for her to come around? There was one play in the game in the second half. Caitlin went through, came around, and Wheeler had the ball in her hand. It just held it. And then she passed it to, I think, Alyssa Smith. And Caitlin was at the top of the creek. As soon as you pass it to her, that's a shot because she has a quick release. The defense can't get to her at times. It's been many times in these seasons that we've seen Caitlin got off shots when the defense trying to get to her because her release is so quick. Lynn Dunn has never been successful. If you go back and look at her history, she hasn't been successful. But I'm going to do that in this next segment when I'm going to let y'all finish listening to what she had to say. Because this goes to show you that she's not tough on Christie size enough. And she just allowing her, Christie size, to do what she does. And it just reminds me of her career, how she was as a coach. And Christie, and she hired the same person as herself, somebody who is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like The Rock would say, you're nothing. You're a college coach at best, but you're still nothing. You coach, been assistant coach, and you still nothing. Nothing. So sit tight. I'm going to let you listen to the second part of this podcast.
Beat last night. But, Lynn, I got to ask you because people are killing me, so I'm going to ask. After the game, apparently, Caitlin Clark said she doesn't get any information during the game. She wished she could. I mean, I heard her say it, and I'm like, well, wait a second. What does that mean? Of course everybody's coaching her during the game, right? I mean, let's clear that up.
Well, I can't clear it up because I hadn't had a chance to talk to her or the coach. But I will assure you I will get a clarification on that as soon as I get to Phoenix. They're already in Phoenix ahead of me. I'm still in Seattle. But I'll figure out exactly what that comment meant, and we can discuss it next week.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm sure you heard it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what it meant. Sometimes I don't want to jump to conclusions and find out, okay, she meant something different and I didn't, so I'm going to have to hear it from the horse's mouth. Yeah, no, I get it. I that's why I asked. And I know you're honest, and we do have an honest. All right, I'm going to try to explain this to people, all right? Road games are hard. And young teams have to learn how to play on the road, I believe. I don't care whether you played in college or not. The pros is different, just like high school to college is different, just like, junior varsity to varsity is different. You got to learn how to play on the road eventually, right? Right. And not only that, you got to know that, when you're on the road and you're playing against a team that has more talent than you, it makes it even tougher. We're a team in a rebuild. Seattle's got 3 Olympians. Right now, we don't have any. So we've got to get a little bit more talent in order to steal a game from a team on the road. But one of the things we can do better is take better care of the basketball. I thought last night the 20 turnovers really hurt us. We only have 12 turnovers. We have a chance to be close at the end. We used to have goals, both when I was with Coach Knight and then in Bowling Green, turnovers, and the number was always you're trying to get less than 10. You never want double-digit turnovers. What is a goal? What is a legit goal for turnovers? Well, I think I was going to say 10 or 12. I mean, I think 12, if you can, have 15 and still win, that's pretty good, but anything over 15 is unacceptable. Because
All right, so she said he asked her, did she hear the comments about Caitlin said that she don't get any advice from vets, and Linda said the guy said, well, I know what it means. Do you know what it means? She said, well, I know what you meant, but I have to get clarification. Okay, so if you know what it meant, why the hell you need clarification? Just to sit back and say, well, I don't want to interpret what she has to say. Because me personally, if I was a GM, why would you wait the next day till you get to Phoenix to discuss this? You should have been discussing this today. You should have been calling Christie Size, or you should have had Christie Size and Caitlin on the Zoom and say, hey, all right, we need to get on the same accord. Caitlin said that she's not being approached, or she has not have anybody talk to her. What are you providing for her to really get her? Hell, Tamika Catchings right there. Once you say, hey, you know what, Caitlin, I'm going to call Tamika Catchings in. She's a legend here. She's been on won a championship. She could give you some insight. Boom. Give her. Sometimes people need resources. Sometimes Caitlin is. One thing I could see this about Caitlin. Caitlin ain't going to navigate to you if you ain't a person that she can navigate towards. Like it's like making friends or talking to somebody. You're not gonna talk to somebody if a person ain't really approachable to talk to. And the way the females in the WNBA has been treating her, why would she go out and approach them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people want to compare Angel Reese and say, well, she went out there and all of this stuff to talk to people because the mentality is the same. Caitlin's mentality is not like that. You know what I'm saying? She's a whole different player. Jordan went out and looked for nobody to have them to teach him. Now he learned, but Magic didn't welcome him in the league. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Kobe. Kobe was welcome in the league, but guess what? Jordan took him under his wing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when Shaq came in the league. There was people there to teach Shaq, to help Shaq. So, but these women in the WNBA are so damn jealous of Caitlin Clark. They don't want to give her no information or help her because they feel like they scared she's gonna outshine them. You gotta think about it. Caitlin is an anomaly for the WNBA, or something that we never seen before. So how in the hell you gonna sit back and say that, okay, well, she should reach out to vets? Well, maybe if these vets make themselves a little bit more accessible only to certain damn players, it'll be beneficial. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways in the WNBA and say, well, Caitlin, she don't want to talk about certain issues, so that's why nobody want to mess with her. It's not her job to make y'all feel good. She's there to do her job. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to rock with her, rock with her. If you don't, then don't. Just like LeBron said, if you don't fuck with her, excuse my language, if you don't mess with her, then don't mess with her. She don't have time to be, run around begging people to talk to her. She already keep her circles tight. Everything in the WNBA is all about clicks. You got to be one way or you got to be another way and this, that. Now, some of the young players have spoke up on Caitlin's behalf, like Caitlin or whatever. But then you got coaches in the WNBA is playing against them. Now, I'm going to give Seattle Storm coach so much credit because she talked highly of Caitlin last night after the game. And she saw some improvements that Caitlin has made. Now, if opposing coach could sit there and see improvement that Caitlin made, why in the hell your own coach can't see that? Your own coach can't even recognize your greatness in an interview. When opposing coaches sit there and say, well, hey, I've seen her she's made a lot of strides. She's handling it a little bit better. The blitzes and stuff like that. She's starting to slip this and that. Because Caitlin's going to have to figure out herself and say, you know what, F this team. Because you already got Lynn Dunn is not even speaking up for you. As you could clearly listen to all of this. She's not speaking up for you. Your own coach can't speak up for you. She contradicts everything. And then when she says so, she throw you under the bus to the media. And then everybody in the media is coming at Caitlin Clark like she did this. You paint her into a person that she's not even is. And then her own teammates don't even want to get on board. They want their numbers to look good, but they want Caitlin to pass the dome to make their numbers look good, but they don't even want to help Caitlin out. And it's amazing that this girl is averaging 15, 5, and 5 and breaking all these other records like she's doing with a bum ass team that she got. And it's sad. Now, I said I was going to do Lynn Dunn. I'm about to blow Lynn Dunn up right now because Lynn Dunn is trash. She shouldn't even be a general manager. That's how trash she is. This is Lynn Dunn career, coach as a coach. Austin Perry State, Ole Miss, Miami, Florida. Thank God she left there because That's my team. Purdue, Portland Power, Seattle Storm, Indiana Fever, Kentucky, Indiana Fever. All right. So, Lynn Dunn, I had said this last night, if y'all listen. In 2021, Lynn Dunn became the first coach and GM for the expansive Seattle Storms at the time, when it was the ABL rival for the WNBA. Everybody had loved it because of Southern accent. I don't really care about that. But the team started out that year at 6-26. Dunn left the Storm just as it was starting to have success. New superstars like Lauren Jackson and Sue Bird led the team to their first playoff in 2002, where they were swept by the Sparks. Dunn then resigned, left the path open for Ann Dunaway to build a championship team just 2 seasons after. Dunn is a former head coach for the Indiana Fever and won a WN championship with the Fever in 2012. But then in May 2014, she announced her retirement from coaching at the end of the year. And then June 2014, she was inducted to the Women's Hall of Fame. On May 24th, 2016, she was introduced as assistant coach for Matthew Mitchell at Kentucky. Then on the 26th, 2017, Kentucky announced her, they gave her a 1-year extension. Then 2018, her role with the University of Kentucky changed to a special assistant to the head coach. Then she left Kentucky in 2022 and became the interim general manager of the Indiana Fever. And explaining her decision, she stated, "I wouldn't come back to another franchise that wouldn't be only in place that will consider coming out of retirement." And then she became a full-time GM for the Fever in 2023, in January 20th, 2023. So if you look at it, she really don't have a good track record as well. Because guess what? The Seattle Storm got better after she left. What if they didn't get better as she stayed? You can't say, well, she put talent there. I mean, you can say yeah, you can say no. But Lynn Dunn, the only highlight she have is a championship with the Fever. Because guess what? You had Tamika Catchings at that time. So if you look at her career beside that one championship, she's trash as assistant coach and a GM. So again, I iterate this again. You hire a person just like you that is trash. She can't coach. She's been assistant everywhere she has been, never been a head coach, and she don't know X's and O's. What the hell you needed her assistant for? You see that her Christie size assistant coaching career has not been long. Nowhere where she went because she's not good. Then you have people like Rebecca Lobo, and you got like Rebecca Lobo, and all of them. Hold on for 1 second, because I definitely have to put this one up because I needed this. Because I really needed this video, because you got people like FS1 and Rebecca Lobo talking. And Rebecca Lobo talks really highly of Caitlin Clark. That's one thing I have noticed. She talks really highly of her. And you got to respect that. Some people say Rebecca Lobo should come out and be the head coach of her. You know what I'm saying? I think she should. I think she should. So, but at the end of the day, you have to really realize that this situation where Caitlin Clark is not going to get better. It's not going to get better because technically you're gonna have to get rid of the general manager and the coach. That's the only way it's going to work. Or they're going to have to force her to fire. They're going to have to force her to fire Christie Size. They're going to have to fire her. So I'm going to let y'all listen to Rebecca Lobo, what she had to say first.
You know what? It is always a good day when Rebecca Lobo makes time to be with us now. So, Rebecca, Caitlin Clark, she's about halfway through her rookie season and on a record-setting pace here. But now her coach is saying that she wants even more from her. So what do you want to see from her in the second half of the season here?
I think Christie Sides is right on point, saying she needs to shoot the basketball more. She's only averaging 12 field goal attempts a game. And for some context, Kelsey Plum takes 16 a game. Sabrina Ionescu takes 15. We were just seeing the Jackie Young highlight. She takes about 17 a game. That is partly on Caitlin and partly on her teammates. So we're going to get a chance to take a look at exactly what I mean. At the end of their game against Chicago, Caitlin Clark had the basketball in her hands. Yes, she had 13 assists in this game. But in this particular moment, when they are trailing by 1 with less than 15 seconds to go, she should not have passed the ball ahead. In this particular situation, you want Caitlin Clark keeping the ball in her hands, either taking a layup or even looking for a 3 in that environment. Now, another option, her teammates need to find her when she's open. This is a high usage set for Indiana. She is open on the pin down screen. She does not get many catch and shoot looks because the defense pays such close attention to her, especially when the defense is flooding the lane. There are situations in games where Caitlin is open, even if it's just for a split second, where her teammates need to find her better for catch and shoot.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Agreed. And, and like I say, I think Caitlin's just going to have to be aggressive. She's just going to have to, play in the flow of the game, pick and choose when she needs to shoot. You know what I'm saying? And because you look at Boston, she doesn't set good screens. Alyssa Smith doesn't set good screens. Wheeler, Mitchell doesn't set good screens. The people that I know set good screens, Katie Lou, Timmy Fanbelly, Lexi Hall, and Damaris Dantes. And I keep raving about Damaris Dantes because I do want to see Damaris Dantes on the floor. And I was supposed to do my thoughts on a new lineup, what it would look like, and how you could sub in and out of that to match certain things. And I think I would do that tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but this video was really important because I want to show and demonstrate to y'all what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to show you another play, and I'm going to show you a graphic of the expression of it. The play that I'm about to show you is when there was a side, on the first half, it was a side out pass. Lexi Hall, I mean, not Lexi, but Wallace had passed it to Caitlin, and Caitlin hit a corner 3, but Wallace was waving under the basket for Caitlin to throw it to her, but Caitlin didn't throw it to her. Because if you think about it, if Caitlin had threw that ball to her, Wallace, and she had a pinpoint blank under the basket, she was not going to hit that shot. There's been times again where Caitlin has hit Wallace, and Wallace had missed clearly under the basket. Point blank play. So Caitlin took the shot, made the 3. But then if you look towards the sideline, because the graphic I'm going to show you, it highlights that section. It shows that Christie Size she was bending down, and when Caitlin hit the shot and they started running back, she hesitated to show emotion. She didn't show emotion at that point. It's like she didn't like what the shot selection that Caitlin took. But since Caitlin hit it, she was like, okay, we good. You know what I'm saying? She wanted her to pass to Wallace. And I won't pass to Wallace. Me personally, if I was Caitlin, I wouldn't pass to her. So I'm going to let y'all see this real quick, and I'll be right back. All right. So you see that. You seen that Caitlin came around off the screen and had a wide open shot. You could, I mean, the only way she would have been able to make that pass to Wallace is she had to dribble in and then make the pass. But like I said, Wallace would have missed that shot completely. Now I'm gonna show you another thing too, real quick, guys. This is the graphic. Look at that section. Look, they're showing the assistant coach. You see Christie Sides kneeling down right there when that had happened, when she hit it. She didn't even react to the shot afterwards. Everybody else is clearly moving up the court. She hesitated. Then she finally got up and then cheered on. The assistant coach was sitting there looking like, what is? But then look at the bench. Katie Lou, Lexi Hall sitting up there cheering. Guess what? You don't even see Nalissa Smith standing up. You got Damaris Doncic way down there. You can't even see her. Vivian, them, all of them out there cheering on Caitlin. You got Wheeler right there. Bailey standing up. You got Wallace you got Nalissa Smith on the bench. They ain't doing nothing. And I don't know who that. I guess that's another assistant coach. That's just go to show you the level of who has Caitlin back and who doesn't have Caitlin back. Because when Caitlin's feeding on the ball, they all Caitlin's best friend. But when Caitlin getting off her shots, and that's why I said this. I'm sorry, but Nalissa Smith, Mitchell, Wheeler, Wallace, they all got to go. I don't care about Mitchell game because she's selfish player. I don't care about Nalissa Smith. She's soft. She don't even play tough against her own girlfriend, Dijon Mustard Carrington. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this here is that they all need to go. They all, and then for Lynn Dunn to say, oh, well, we need to get, we not experienced. We need to get experienced players. We need to get players on the, okay, well, guess what? If you need to get players, you cut one that could have been a great defensive asset and probably a good role model off balls player that for Caitlin. But you not cutting nobody off the team and say, well, hey, we need to cut somebody. We need to pick up somebody. We need to have better athletes on the play. You don't have no 3 and D players, no wing people that could defend the 3-point line. You got all these bigs, you know what I'm saying? And half of them is freaking damn slow. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no athletic ability out there. Wheeler short, Mitchell short. They like 5'11", 5'10", and they can't even guard nobody. Caitlin 6 foot. Lexi Hall thinks 6'1", 6'2". Dantas 6'3". You got people out there that could guard. Sam Michelle, I think she's 6'3". But besides Dantas and Timmy Fanbelly, everybody else slow-footed. Samuelson, I like her. She shoots 41% from the 3-point line, and you can't get her no more touches than 4 minutes. Dantas, another 3-point specialist out there. You can't get her on the floor and say, well, hey, Dantas, let's see what you got. Even as give her 10 minutes or so to space the floor, to shoot threes. Hell, if you put Dantas and Katie Lou Samuelson out there, you probably would get more spacing and less clog jam for Caitlin to probably dribble drive. But I ain't the coach. I see this. My thing is this. Christie Sides and Lynn Dunn needs to be fired. Period. Point blank, period. They don't know how to coach a team. They don't know how to build a team. They both trash. You got 2 first-round picks there, and you don't even know how to utilize neither one of them. You just draft a pick. Why in the hell you get Damaris Doncic? And I understand Damaris was hurt, but okay, knowing that she's back, this would be a time you could pull her in a little bit, give her a couple minutes. Take minutes from Wallace. Wallace don't need no minutes. She's useless. She's fucking useless, man. It's like they so scared of Caitlin to be great, and they don't want to allow her greatness to shine. But like I said, and I said this again, change could be coming at the All-Star and Olympic break. Change could be coming. Because I think for Lynn Dunn to keep her job, she's going to have to fire Christie Sides. And she's going to have to hire a coach. That's good, because guess what? If you hire another ass coach like Christie Sides, you definitely won't have a job. So I think the owner, for her, she's going to have to get down there. She's going to have to talk to Christie Sides and say, hey, look, we got to figure this out with Caitlin Clark. We got to figure this out. We can't lose her in the next couple of years. And if she can't figure it out, guess what? All-Star break say, look, I'm moving one of y'all up to coach this team. I need some better results going down for the rest of the season. Christie Sides, thank you for the service, but you're not getting it done. Shit, coaches in the NBA don't even last that long. First year, if you ain't showing no kind of winning within the first 40 games, 30 games, 20 games, you gone. There ain't no hesitation. You gone. And I do believe Christie Sides has lost the locker room. The team doesn't seem enthusiastic. They look so slow. They're trying to hype each other up. But the coaching morale of this team and this coach is bad. Again, I keep using my football analogy for this, guys. My Washington Commanders team, I just went through this with them. I just went through this few years back with my Miami Hurricanes. I'm going through this now with my Chicago Bulls. The Washington Commanders changed ownership, which that's a whole different set. But they got rid of the coach, brought new GMs, got rid of everything to improve the culture of the team, brought in a head coach that is going to make a difference. Lynn Dunn, you ain't getting it done. Christie Sides, you are done. And Lynn Dunn, if you don't get it done soon, you will be done. Because to be honest with you, I want both of y'all to be gone. Both of y'all ain't good. Excuse my grandma. Both of y'all not good. All y'all do is just sit here and make excuses. So tomorrow they should have a practice session, a media session tomorrow. So I want to know if Lynn Dunn is going to be able to come down, because guess what? They probably most likely ask Christie Sides that question. They probably ask Caitlin Clark that question. I want to see the demeanor of this team and media, media tomorrow. I want to see their demeanor, because in they practice. I don't even care about the practice now, because the practice don't even mean nothing. I want to see what their demeanor is. It's going to tell me everything I need to know going into Sunday's game. But again, continue to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. You know, I'm on my way up to 6,000. And continue to like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things above. Share the video also if it helps you. But again, it's time for Sides and Dunn. Sound like a country singer, country group, and a law firm. Sides and Dunn. It's time for them to move on. It's time, because you could give Caitlin the green light, but guess what? If her results ain't good, you'll throw her under the bus again. So it's damn if she do, damn if she don't. So if I'm at Caitlin, I'll go back to my Iowa trades and start letting it rip. Guess what? Pile my numbers up. Break all kind of records. Win Rookie of the Year. Guess what? You know, because there ain't no way in the world that you could be able to get the number 1 draft pick again and get Paige Beckers. I do like the girl from USC, the tall one that was dunking, because that's the one they were saying that Indiana should draft. Me personally, you have her and you have a Boston. Now we talk about something, but you got to have a coach. It don't matter the talent. You got to have a coach, and you got to have a GM that knows talent. You got to get 3-point shooting for Caitlin. That's the only way Caitlin's game is going to open up. You got to have 3-point shooting. And I think Lexi, Samuelson, and Dantas could help her out a lot. But again, until then, God bless. Good night. Peace.